Hi everyone, this is Boomer for Caravel Gaming and welcome back to the Magic 2014 Revenge campaign. Today we'll be taking on Chandra and her red deck, and for that deck I have chosen the Guardian of Light deck, which I believe is a Jarni's. So let's have a look at what we've got here. This deck is mainly based around enchanting creatures, which against red feels like a bit of a risky prospect, but the fact is if you get an enchantment on one of your guys, it's well out of range of red dealing with it pretty much. So first off, we have 4 core spirit dancers. Anyone who's played modern will recognise what this thing does. It was part of the Slippery Bogle deck, basically the hexproof enchantment deck, and which for a while was very strong in modern last season. It's a 0-2 for 2. It gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it, and whenever you cast an aura spell you may draw a card. Aura being an enchantment that goes on a creature. So you kind of get the idea where this is coming from. 3 Ajani Sunstriker, which is a 2-2 with lifelink for 2. Very cool, like spots on the old cap there. 2 Daybreak Coronet, which is enchant a creature with another aura already attached to it. It gets +3/+3, first strike, vigilance and lifelink. Lots of things pretty much. Spirit Mantle, which is a colourless and a green enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has protection from creatures. Divine Favour. The reason I'm playing this is because I'm up against red. When it enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. An enchanted creature gets +1/+3. For pacifism, red can't get rid of this off its creatures. It's 1 colourless and a white. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Misa Enchantress, which is a white reprint of Viduran Enchantress. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may draw a card. Skyhunter Skirmisher, 1 white for a 1/1 flying with double strike. You can imagine this gets completely out of control if you put enchantments on it, basically, because everything that it gets hit is that it gets its power pumped by is doubled. Pariah, 2 and a white, enchantment aura. All damage that will be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead, which combos quite nicely with this guy, Dawn Elemental, 4 white mana for a 3/3 flyer. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Dawn Elemental. So if you get that combo out against red, red cannot beat you anymore. Griffin Guide, 2 and a white. It gets +2/+2 and has flying. When it dies, put a 2/2 white Griffin creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So similar to Elephant Guide, but you just get it's another way of trying to make auras playable. 2 Seraph of the Sword, 3 and a white for a 3/3 flyer. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it. Unfortunately that's combat damage, not burn, so the red deck can still burn it. 2 Angelic Destiny, 2 white. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4, has flying and first strike and is an angel in addition to its other types. When it dies, return Angelic Destiny to its owner's hand. And 4 Armored Ascension, which is 3 and a white. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each planes you control and has flying in my mono white deck. So basically if I strap this to any of my creatures, it's massive. Sigil of the Empty Throne is actually played in Legacy Enchantress as far as I'm aware as well. It's 3 white. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Really good card. And then right at the top end, Aura Touch Mage, 6 mana for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, search my library for an aura that could be enchanted. If it's still on the battlefield, put that aura onto the battlefield attached to it. Otherwise, put the aura into my hand. And finally, Celestial Mantle, 6 mana. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life total. All these things to try and gain me some life against a red deck. Anyway, what do we have in the board? We have an Admonition Angel, 6 mana for a 6/6 flyer. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, I may exile target non-land permanent other than the angel. When it leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with it. Bit 6 mana, although better than Aura Touch Mage in this deck, so let's do that. I'm changing stuff right up to the last minute. Greater Auramancy, one colourless and a white. Other enchantments I control have Shroud. Enchanted creatures I control have Shroud. That would be fine if my enchanted creature weren't pretty much unkillable anyway. And I'm not playing against a deck that can deal with enchantments anyway. Nomad Mythmaker, 2 and a white. Put an aura card from a graveyard onto the battlefield onto a creature I control. Again, fine, but it's going to die, and I don't anticipate too many enchantments being in the bin. Idyllic Tutor is a demonic tutor for just an enchantment. Again, can be absolutely fine, but I think that I've got enough powerful enchantments that I don't really need it. Ajani's Chosen is a 4 mana 3/3. I'm not really that bothered about playing this. Sigil of the New Dawn, 3 and a white. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, I may pay 1 and a white. If I do, return it to my hand. Requires me to always keep mana open and doesn't help me win the game. Indestructibility, we've been over this before. I don't rate it as a card, and in this case I don't think that I have to play it, to tell you the truth. Retether, return each aura card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Only creatures can be enchanted this way, so if somehow all my creatures die, I could put one creature in play, cast this, and it puts everything onto it. I don't think it's necessary. 3 Dreams, it's another tutor, 5 mana, lets me get 3 auras with different names. Again, I don't think it's necessary. I think this deck can just win without it. Evangelize, gain control of target creature of an opponent's choice that he or she controls. Good against control decks with only 1 creature or 2, but otherwise, no, not really. It also has buyback, so if you happen to have 9 mana, you can just play this every single turn. Purity, 6/6 flying. If non-combat damage will be dealt to you, prevent the damage and gain life equal to the damage prevented in this way. Pretty good against red, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, we'll make our deck a bit more expensive. Why not? True Conviction, creatures you control have double strike and lifelink, but it's a 6 mana enchantment that doesn't really do anything. Final Judgment is a Wrath of God. I'm not going to kill my own creatures. Aura of Silence. My opponent isn't casting enchantments or artifacts, so I'm not going to use that. Very good card though. Serra's Boon, enchanted creature gets +1. It can be used as removal, but in this case I don't really think it's worth it. Unquestioned Authority is basically Spirit Mantle, but you draw a card when it comes into play. Healer of the Pride is 4 mana for a 2/3. It's basically a big Soul Warden, so I'm not really that bothered about it. Seasoned Marshal's an unimpressive 2/2 for 4. Divine Transformation just gives someone +3, a creature +3/+3. I think I have much better enchantments. Like for example, Armored Ascension is going to give a minimum of +4/+4. So I really don't think it's worth having the +3/+3 enchantment. Staff, we know about staffs, they're not good. Lifelink. No real need, I just make huge guys. It is possible that Lifelink's actually not terrible in this. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna put Lifelink in. I'm playing against red after all. Do I get rid of one of the skirmishers? I think I do, because it's only got 1 toughness, and playing against red it gets burnt out really easily. Blade of the Sixth Pride, speaking of 1 toughness, there it is right there. I don't want that against a red deck. Divine Favour, 1/3. I'm going to keep one of the skirmishers around just because if I can just make it and put an enchantment on it, that's game over pretty much, so there's no point in not having to. Auramancer. Again, if my opponent could kill my enchantments, I would play it, but he can't, so I'm not going to. Guardian's Mage Mark is a 3 mana aura. Creatures you control that are enchanted get +1/+1. Not a big deal. Totem Guide, Heart Beast. 5 mana for a 2/5, and when it comes into play, I can search my library for an aura card. No, just not very exciting to me. And Dawnstrike Paladin, 2/4 Vigilance, Line Flip for 5. Again, not very efficient. So we're going to take this deck and we're going to attempt to shove it down Chandra's throat. She was my Of course, she was my ally pretty much throughout the entire campaign, but now I've just got to beat her up. Apparently she wants a bit of revenge. And pretty good opening hand. If I keep that Sunstriker in play, which is, to be honest, it's a little bit unlikely because I anticipate my opponent burning it. I think that this could be a pretty good... I think this could be pretty good. Misa Enchantress is a good draw. So yeah, I'm feeling okay with how this looks. I've got lands and spells, that's always good. And if I get to put one of these Divine Favours and then one of these Coronets on, that's going to be pretty good. And he makes a Torch Fiend. 2-1 for 2. Unremarkable. Oh, and we just won. We just won. But, well, assuming I hit a 4th land, we just won. But let's put the 2-2 out there. You'll notice I'm playing 25-26 land in all of these decks because pretty much the only way you lose is when you get screwed. So it's like, I will take the risk of getting a little bit flooded. Wow, you really got a pretty good start here. 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop burn spell, which is pretty much what you want if you're a red deck. Oh, got another Sunstriker. Now, question is, do I go Sunstriker or Enchantress? I think I go Enchantress. It's just a little bit more mana efficient, and it also means that if she survives this turn, it means that I can draw out of it even if I can draw my 4th land even if I miss it this time round. Let's see what Chandra's got for me. My guess is no, just attacking with that. Well, obviously not attacking with the Arsonist because it would just bounce off the Enchantress. And that's the end of her turn. Okay. Well, there's the 4th land. So now... yeah, I think now I just cast Dawn Elemental. That's actually the safe play. Because if I cast an enchantment and Chandra burns this... I'll skip the attack. And Chandra burns this, it means that she then has an open board and deals 5 damage to me come what may. Whereas now, she can't attack through this Dawn Elemental. Yep, Pilgrim's Eye is fine. You may have a mountain from your library. Make said mountain, and that's end of game pretty much. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is make Divine Favour. I'm going to put it... first off, I'm going to put it on the Enchantress, see if he burns it. I do want to draw a card, and it's an Armoured Ascension, so awesome. Gain 3 life. Cast Divine Favour on that. Yes, I want to draw a card. Go up to 18 life. And we'll skip the attack. I could have just gone Divine Favour Coronet on that. I think that would have been fine as well, but I like having my Enchantress with 5 toughness here. Admittedly, Chandra could just disintegrate it for 5, but I felt that keeping my life total high and attacking with that... well, by all means, I will let you do 1 damage to me. Ah, I see. Yep. Well, there wasn't any way I could have stopped that, but that is absolutely fine. Another Misa Enchantress, huh? I think that we will play that. And then I will put Daybreak Coronet onto my Dawn Elemental. And yes, I will draw some cards. And there's a pacifism for his Phoenix as well, so excellent. and I will attack with my 7-9 guy who can't be 7-9 vigilance, lifelink, all the things guy. So yeah, this was basically the plan. I don't think Chandra has any way to deal with the with this. In fact, most red decks don't have any way to deal with this. Yeah, I don't think that Grim Lavamancer is going to outrace my Dawn Elemental with lifelink. Okay, that's game. Right. Let's put Spirit Mantle on my Dawn Elemental, draw a couple of cards. And then we'll put Armored Ascension on my Dawn Elemental, draw a couple of cards. Draw some land. So in with my 15 powered lifelink vigilance protection from creatures guy, so he can't even block now. That's it, you give your Grim Lavamancer haste. Oh, now you're going to kill my Enchantress after she's already drawn me a load of cards. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's quite a cool interaction that with the Crimson Mage. So he's going to deal me 3 with the flames? Yeah. It's like the old Modo thing, isn't it? It's like, I'm going to do you a load of damage before I die. It's like, yeah, you're not going to get me below 20 anyway. Okay, so how big can we get my Dawn Elemental before we win? So let's pacify his 6/6. Doesn't look like much bigger because I'm just going to draw some land, it looks like. Oh well. That's the risk you run when you run so many land. But anyway, let's just get in there with the Dawn Elemental, and that is a wrap for this video. So yes, swatted Chandra aside quite easily there. The Firebird would have been a bit worrisome if I didn't have a Dawn Elemental, but because I had the Armoured Ascension, I would have just put it on the core Spirit Dancer, and the same old would have happened pretty much. There's still no way Chandra could have attacked or anything like that. So really, the Dawn Elemental looked really amazing there, but I think I probably would have won even without it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this episode of Magic 2014, guys. If you like it, please subscribe, click like, comment in the box, anything you'd like to. And this is Boomer for Caravel Gaming, and I will see you next time.